Hi, welcome back to The Scent Advocate. Today we're going to talk about fruit fragrances that I think are distinguished, elegant, and maybe a little bit different. Maybe they're not the fruit fragrances we hear about all the time on social media. I hope that you take away something interesting from this. These are from my collection, fragrances that I really enjoy that I don't hear talked about all the time. A couple of them I do, but most of them not so much. And the last selection I think is really special. It's a berry forward fragrance, but not exactly what you'd think of when thinking of fruit fragrances. So I hope these are new ideas for you and you enjoy them. So, hey, it is after 5. If you don't have a glass of wine or a cup of tea, go get one. Let's jump right in. All right. The first I want to talk about, I absolutely love. This is a fruity sheep. This is MDCI's La Belle Helene. By the way, I love the bottles from this house. They come with a little tassel and a little pearl bead and a couple of gold beads. It's just, very nice, high quality, simple, elegant, lovely bottle. Oh, and the fragrance. Okay. So this is $250 approximately. This is 75 mil. It is an EDP and it is a 2011 release by Bertrand de Duchaufour. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I probably didn't. So those of you who've watched my channel know that I am a fool for anything with oak moss in it, and many sheep fragrances have oak moss in it, and this is no exception. So the notes in this are pear, tangerine, lime, aldehydes, osmanthus, iris, mirabelle, ylang ylang, hawthorn, rose, oak moss, sandalwood, licorice, musk, myrrh, vetiver, amber, cedar, and patchouli. So how do you know it's a sheep? Well, it's usually a combination of notes that make a fragrance a sheep. At least that's my understanding. So you get a citrus up top. In this case, it's a lime. In the middle, you get, oh gosh, usually like it's a flower, but a heavy flower. In this case, we've got ylang ylang, iris, rose, osmanthus. Could be any one of those, but at the bottom, right, in the long where you get the oak moss and sometimes a patchouli or one or the other. And so this has all of those. Um, the the opening, the heart, and the base all have what are the typical hallmarks of a sheep. But what does this make me feel? This is sweet and yet not not too youthful. This is grown up. This is very sophisticated. It leans feminine. It's very rich, but very fruit heavy. And I think it's probably the opening fruits, right? The pear, tangerine, and lime. I will say that the pear is probably the strongest of the fruit. The ylang ylang gives it its waxy, heavy feel, and the oak moss gives it a depth and complexity that you can only get with a sheep. And this epitomizes exactly, in my opinion, what a fruity sheep should be. I do not hear this talked about very much, and that, my friends, is a crime. La Belle Helene by MDCI. Moving on, we've got from the house of Zoologist Macaque. And this is the Fuji Apple edition. This is an extrait de parfum. It is $200 retail, 60 mil, and the nose behind it is Spiros Drosopolis. I would say this leans sheep, but it's not a traditional, this is a very unusual fragrance, right? So you get the apple, you get some spice. So the notes are Fuji apple, olibanum, juniper berry, myrrh, hinoki wood, oak moss, sandalwood, and olibanum. It's very rich, very heavy, but the thing is, I get clove in here, maybe some mace, definitely the mulling spices, but not all of them. It's not a spicy, it's not a spice forward. It's an apple forward with spice bolstering the apple. It's beautiful. And again, the oak moss gives it a depth and complexity that I think really adds a level of sophistication and distinction that is uncommon in a fruit fragrance. Macaque by Zoologist. Moving on, we've got from the same house, Le Dodo. Oh yes, isn't that good? And you've got to love the art on these Zoologist bottles, don't you? They are beautiful. Now, note that these, of course, I tend to do this all the time. These bottles are the previous version. They've come out with new bottles, and it seems like I always buy my fragrances just before they do a new release, which I'm kind of happy about because although I don't always know that with a new release they reformulate, I I'm not certain. So I have no reason to believe, other than the new bottle, that Zoologist has changed anything. But yeah, so if you were to buy this today, you might get a different bottle. So this is a tropical fougere. This is Dodo, the Jackfruit edition. And this retails for about $200. It's 60 mil. It's an extrait. And the nose behind it is Yves Cassar. And yes, tropical fougere all the way. It is a beautiful fragrance that leans masculine, little bit barbershop in there. So we've got jackfruit, bergamot, pink pepper, turmeric, lavender, geranium, orange flower, orris, tonka, vetiver, sandalwood, patchouli, and labdanum. This is very, very nice, very fresh, very bright. This would be great if you're going to be outdoors, you know, gardening or going for a hike. I mean, I wouldn't bathe in it, but I definitely think it's a fresh, it's got a little, like almost an herbal mint going on. It's not mint forward at all. It's very, very faint. Again, you know, sometimes with these fragrances, they're so masterfully combined, the notes, that they create an accord all their own. And there are nuances that you can pick out. And that's definitely the case here with a little bit of mint. You know, you get like a whole herbal experience. Let me just go on and on. Oh, there's, yeah, so there's some mint, some parsley, something green. There's tarragon, a little bit of lavender, not a lavender forward, don't freak out, but just that green herbal gorgeousness with clean, just got out of the shower, hint of soap, beautiful stuff. Check out Dodo Jackfruit Edition by Zoologist. Next, let's move on to one you've definitely heard of, but I really do like it, and I think it's an incredible selection for, you know, a very refined individual who's looking to put her or his best foot forward. And it is, of course, Cassili by Parfums de Marly. This goes for about $375. It's 75 mil, 2019 release, and it is an EDP. So the notes in this gorgeous fragrance are red currant flowers, Bulgarian rose, frangipani plum, mimosa, vanilla, tonka, sandalwood, and I'm leaving a few out, but that's not why you tune in, is it? Because you could read the notes yourself. What does this tell me? This is a very fruity floral. It is a dark, heavy, sophisticated fruity floral. This is not the kind of fruity floral I would wear in the summer. I would wear this in the cooler months, including the winter if you want to. This is very peach, very, very peach. And remarkably, I don't see peach among the notes. Maybe I miss them. I do see plum and red currant, but this definitely, I think it's the rose. If you were to really dissect the notes, you get rose meets a berry meets a maybe it's the wood, I'm not sure, but it definitely creates a peach accord. And it is lovely. It makes me feel, I know this is wild, right? Healthy, vibrant, full of life, but not, not zippity doo dah. Like it's refined, it's subdued, but you're feeling good. Cassili by Parfums de Marly. And the next selection, can you guess? I will tell you, it's a similar accord. Bitter Peach by Tom Ford. This is a 50 ml EDP. It goes for, whoa, $4.05 these days. My gosh, what is happening? I don't know. You might be able to get this a little less expensively on the gray market. I just do not know, but damn, that's expensive. All right, so we got peach, blood orange, Divana, lab denim, patchouli, sandalwood. But what do I get from it? I get a fruit chuli from this, friends. Oh yeah, this is it. Oh, is it lovely? And it's patchouli and peach. It is a peach that is highly refined from the blood orange. So a very careful, exquisitely measured combination of the two. And if you really try to dissect it, you get the difference. And it's hard with these Tom Ford fragrances. I can never tell exactly how much I've used, so I kind of have to like jiggle it to see, and I still can't tell. Oh yeah, maybe I can. It's this is lovely stuff. I will never be without this in my collection. Now, I'm not really a huge peach person, but I know what I like, and this is lovely, as is Cassili, but this one is a bit more audacious, right? You feel like you're going to take on the world with this. You've got this, look out, here I come. Now, this can go masculine or feminine. I think it leans a little feminine, but ooh, this is confidence. Big time, gorgeous stuff. Tom Ford's Bitter Peach. Next, a really fun selection. It is Breathe Me. Now, I've heard of other fun titled fragrances from this house. And this house, of course, is Michaela Mezzetti. But this one is the one I went for, although the others were absolutely yummy. This one is a fruity floral as well. It's a 100 ml, a 2025 release EDP, and it goes for about $220. The notes in this, really interesting, right? There's ozone, C notes. It's got orange, daisy, rose, wisteria, white wine, amber, poppy, and cypress. What do I get? A pretty fruity floral. Now, let me say, this is not the most unique fragrance on the planet. There are hints of, there are hints of other kind of brand name fragrances. So it's delightful, definitely, kind of a hot pink feel to it. It is far more fruit forward than the notes would imply. The ozone and, C notes, not so much for me. But okay. So this reminds me a little of Juicy Couture. Okay, the various Juicy Couture fragrances with all the fluffy, foofy, frilly stuff on it, those. And if you like those, but you want something a bit more niche, a bit more sharp, a bit more defined, edgy, interesting, clear cut, this is what you'd get. Although there's nothing wrong with Juicy Couture. I have two in my collection. They were gifts, and I will never give them up because a gift is a treasure, and I'll keep them forever. But if you like those, you'll like this. What I like about this is it's incredibly fun. It's very casual. It's an easy reach. You can't go wrong with it. It's universally likable. And when you are feeling energetic, upbeat, and just, ready to go out and run your errands and, be positive with a skip in your step, nothing too special going on, just, white t-shirt and jeans type of day. This is amazing. Beautiful stuff. The breathe in the Breathe Me, I think that's a nod to the ozone and the salt and stuff. I just don't get that. The florals, I'm not a floral person. This feels to me way more fruit forward, like red berries, pear, maybe a little melon, things like that. It's a fruit salad meets some pretty florals. Definitely that wisteria, absolutely. The orange, bright, happy, sweet, like a sumo orange type thing. Definitely in here. Beautiful stuff. Breathe Me by Michaela Mezzetti. All right. Our last selection, the one that I said I thought was a little bit different that I wanted you to stay tuned for. I love this house. It's Daname, and this is Strawberry Mochi. I struggle with strawberry fragrances. I have tried many, and they have almost always let me down. I spoke about one in a recent video from Hildy Soliani, Fragola Salata, which I really love. I really do get strawberry out of that, and just bravo to Hildy for nailing it. Other houses, niche houses that profess to have strawberry forward fragrances, I'm just, and I tested some of these, I tested these on other people, and I said, not knowing what this is called, smell it, let me know what you think. And without fail, they did not say strawberry. So I don't think it's just me. I think a lot of the strawberry fragrances, it's more of, a suggestion that it's strawberry. And sometimes I myself fall victim to it. If you tell me it's strawberry, then maybe it is, and maybe I pick it up. My point is not with this one. This smells like strawberry and mochi. It's very photorealistic. What is mochi? Mochi is it's like a paste from cooked rice. And you can do all kinds of things with it from a culinary perspective. It's a great analog to animal-based foods if you're vegan. It does all kind of neat stuff, right? It's also forms like something of a pastry around ice cream, and it's just called mochi, and it's ice cream with this mochi paste around it, and it can be thin like paper or thick like an unbaked pastry. It's really, really good, or like marzipan. And it's very mildly flavored, but you do get rice from it, cooked rice. It's very cozy smelling, and that is what you get here. So if you could imagine mochi, and inside is maybe a freshly made strawberry compote. And that's this. Now, when I say freshly made, I mean it isn't full of sugar and various artificial flavors and such. This is real strawberries that maybe you picked from your own garden. You cooked them down, and you stuck it in some mochi wrapping, and you stuck it in the freezer, and then later you ate it. Now, that is not to imply that this is an especially cold fragrance. It's not. It leans warm because the mochi has that cooked rice accord. But this is truly lovely, and one of the few fragrances I've experienced where the strawberry is real and thoroughly enjoyable. And that is it for this evening. Oh, let me just add, sorry about that. This is 50 ml EDP. The nose is on Go. It's a 2024 release, and it goes for about $160. So now tell me, Do any of these surprise you? Do you have these in your collection? If so, which ones? And what do you think of them? My goal in this video was to really make you think differently about fruit, right? There are so many, you know, fruit forward fragrances that everyone talks about. And as always on this channel, I want to give you something different to think about. A lot of these niche and indie fragrances are really art in a bottle, and I have a few more that I was going to talk about. And if you could let me know in the comments whether you'd like to hear more about this sort of thing. When I say art in a bottle, I was going to talk about these, but I don't want to make the video too long. This is Sweet Tani by Strangers Parfumerie. Absolutely stunning. The notes in this are jaggery, honey, tonka bean, pandan leaves, coconut milk, coconut nectar. It's just a whole lot of coconut, banana, roasted nuts, and tuberose. It's an EDP. Goes for about $100. Oh, this is gorgeous. It's 30 mil. This is from Prin Lamrose. Very artistic. Do you want to hear more about these really arty, kind of avant-garde fragrances? In this case, this is fruit, and I have another that goes with it. Same house. It's called U2, also by Strangers Parfumerie, and this is a peach. Like it's a fruity floral, but it's more peach forward. It's got mango, so more of that kind of tropical feel. But so interesting. Oh gosh. The chrysanthemum and chamomile and cedar really give this a depth, not unlike oak moss. Again, art in a bottle. What are your thoughts about these more artistic Indian niche fragrances? Because I enjoy some of the ones that everyone talks about, like the Parfums de Marly and the Tom Ford, but these really excite me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. And hey, if you're not yet a subscriber, please consider joining the family. Everyone who's subscribed, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I enjoy getting your comments and communicating with you. You inspire me every single day. The suggestions you make about testing different fragrances, I go and I get these samples. I really do, and I can't wait to try them. And so please stay with me. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.